Have you lost your driver's license in Michigan? Well, you can get it back. In this video, I'm going to explain how we streamline this process and save you money, anxiety, and time. My name is Mike Hills, and for more than 20 years, our law firm has been helping people get their driver's licenses back. And the best way I can explain how you are going to save yourself heartache, time, and money in this area is by telling you a story about my first experience with driver's license restoration. When I first started my criminal practice 20 plus years ago, a friend reached out and needed help getting his driver's license restored. Now, I had never done that before, so I looked it up and I thought the process seemed straightforward. And I gave my friend the procedures and told him what needed to be done. I told him he didn't need to pay me. He could do it himself. Not because I didn't want to get paid. I certainly needed the money, especially at that time. And not because I didn't want to help my friend. He was my friend. I did it because I truly thought he didn't need to pay me. He could do it himself and didn't need to hire a lawyer. My friend is a very smart person, and I thought he didn't need to spend the money on an attorney. I thought I was doing the right thing by my friend, and I would have given the same advice to any potential client that called me at the time. So, my friend spent his time, his money, as well as the anxiety and stress, getting all the documents prepared and going into the hearing. A hearing where he had to testify without an experienced attorney to guide him. While I tried to do the right thing and save my client, my friend, some money, I absolutely did the wrong thing. My friend lost the hearing, and it cost him about a year and a half more without a driver's license. Not being able to pick up his children from practice or school, not being able to take his family out to dinner. He couldn't drive to the store, couldn't drive to work. These things are very big deals, and I treated his situation cavalierly. I didn't treat his situation like the very important issue it was. Now, he had to go through the stress of repeating everything a second time. This time, I went through it with him, and I quickly discovered getting your driver's license restored was not as simple as I thought. Why did my friend lose his hearing? Well, one of the letters didn't contain all the information that the Secretary of State required. That letter was then not counted. And then he didn't have the number of letters required. And it's an automatic loss. Done. There were other errors in his appeal, but that one alone was catastrophic to his case, and it would be to your case. So, he had to wait another year before he could reapply to get his license. In general, what do you have to do to get your license back? Okay, you must put together a package, including specific supporting testimonial letters that are signed, notarized, and dated. You need a substance abuse evaluation, interlock reports, doctor reports, other supporting documents must all be consistent with each other and contain everything the Secretary of State demands. Further, the documents must be dated, and there are different time limits for different documents. In other words, your documents become stale at a certain point. If a document is stale or too old, it won't be counted. It's just another way to lose. After all your documents are to the Secretary of State, a hearing will be scheduled. At that hearing, the petitioner, the person without the license, will be placed under oath and questioned by the hearing officer, creating a record for good or for bad. When a person is not properly prepped for testimony, it's just a recipe for disaster. I've seen it over and over again, both in the license appeal and in the criminal process. Listen, there are so many pitfalls in this appeal process that, in my experience, most people that go on their own or with an attorney that's not experienced in driver's license appeals, they lose. And what's worse, if you go in and you lose, there's an entire record made of mistakes and missteps that'll have to be cleaned up the next time. Just today, before we started doing this video, we received a call from a potential client who actually went alone, lost their hearing. I pulled out one of the errors, and I'll just read right from the order. It says, inaccurate history on a substance use evaluation. Did not tell evaluator of his prior 4-year abstinence period. What does that mean? That means there was a period of abstinence. This individual had been drinking during this time, stopped drinking during this time, and then started drinking again. And those periods of abstinence, when you're not drinking, must be in the substance abuse evaluation. If they're not, they disregard it and you lose. Now, you won't find that in any of the procedures. You just have to know that through experience. And so, how do you avoid all these mistakes? Well, you need to hire a law firm that handles these cases on a regular basis. A law firm that will give you the best chance of success and will save you time and stress, and in the long run, it'll save you money. So what do we do that's so different? Since I first helped my friend back in the early 2000s, we've refined our program. We have a method in place for getting the information in a systematic way, to keep the files organized, obtaining the documents in a timely manner, making sure all the documents correspond to each other and don't contradict the police reports, breath test reports, that is the ignition interlock reports, letter testimonials, and all the other supporting documentation. Timing is important. As I indicated, documents get stale. If they're too old, the Secretary of State will disregard them, and you could lose on this alone. Our case management system has fail-safes and redundancies built in to avoid these pitfalls. We prep the client for their testimony. We identify and prepare for any weak spots in the client's case and deal with them head on. Our clients are not surprised during the hearing. In short, we've been doing this for a long time. We have a proven system in place, and we will give you the best shot at getting your license back. I gave my friend bad advice 20 plus years ago, and I won't do it again. So, if you want to save money, time, stress, and anxiety for you and your family, hire the right professional to get your license back the first time. All right, thanks. Stay safe.